Kris Gethin here, and you are in my kitchen. Why? Because I'm going to show you how you should prep for the week, specifically for you beginners. So this is very basic, it's very easy for you to apply. You just have to be prepared, or you're going to prepare to fail. What I personally like to do, and I found the easiest way, is to cook like 3 days worth of food. You can do 7 if you like, if you want to spend your entire Sunday in the kitchen, but I like to have about 3 days worth of food in the kitchen, and then another one, another cooking session for like 3 or 4 days. So what I'll generally do on a Sunday, I'll cook a batch of food that will last me up until Wednesday. Then I'll do that again on the Wednesday evening. That will last me up until the Sunday. So this is what I like to do. I like to get cheap foods that I know that are nutritious, that will help me pack on some mass. So what I'll do is get some cheaper forms of like tuna, chicken breast. It could be lean, cheaper turkey, or like a tilapia fish or cod. And then what I'll do is cook that along with a cheaper form of carbohydrates. So these could be potatoes, these could be rice. You can get some quinoa sometimes every now and again, pretty cheap as well. So these are cheaper forms of carbohydrates that you can add in there with a cheaper form of proteins. And what I will do is cook several days worth, and then I'll put them in containers like this. These containers, I've just brought these out of the freezer by the way, will go into my freezer for several days, and I'll just get them out the night before I want to eat them for the following day. So they'll defrost overnight, then when I wake up, I will put them in my cool bag, and then off I go to work. It's easy, it's very simple, and it's basic, and it's cheap as well. Believe me, it's so much cheaper than getting your food every single day through the drive-through at the supermarket, and going to a restaurant or cafe, etc. Doing it at home is going to be the easiest way to do it. Now, those are the carbohydrates and the protein sources. You can also add some additional fats to that. The cheaper form, as opposed to going, say, avocado, is going to be some olive oil, some coconut oil, and some nuts. Personally, I like the nuts because I like to have some crunch. So I have some hazelnuts. I also have some organic cashews. Right, and now, you want to think about those meals as well. Sometimes when you're caught in traffic, when you're caught on the go, when you're in between meetings or something like that, we can't always reach for a full meal. That's when I like to put together some snacks. So again, these snacks will involve some nuts. They're very cheap. You can go and get them from any supermarket. You can mix them up yourself. And I also love some dried fruits. Sometimes I'll go for pineapple, mango, or in this case, some dried apples, and they'll keep me going in between meals as well. And getting packets of like whitefish, you can get tuna, you can get salmon. Sometimes these are really easy to go protein sources that are relatively cheap and that you can sustain in between meals, making sure that you stay in an anabolic environment. And not as cheap, but I thought I'd bring this up anyway, is some beef jerky. I don't eat jerky often at all, but when I'm traveling, I will have it there, usually in the top of my bag, just in case. That is a fail-safe, all right? So those are the food sources. Now what about the supplements? Okay, what I like to have as a meal replacement throughout the day is half a scoop of Recage and half a scoop of casein, and I'll have that together. Sometimes just put that in a shaker, take it with me if I'm out for the day and knock that back, or if I'm at home, I'll put it in the blender and knock that back as a meal replacement if I don't have time to eat food, or if it's just too much volume for me to bulk up. Having a liquid meal is so much easier on my stomach. Now, if I'm going out, if I'm traveling, I don't want to take those containers with me, so I'll put them in Ziploc bags. So maybe I'd put some casein if I'm gone for like a couple of weeks in a Ziploc bag. If I'm just gone for the day, I'm going to put some Recaged or whatever in a smaller bag, just to keep it efficient and keep it easy. And what I'll sometimes do is double wrap as well. The reason why I also double wrap is if, let's say I'm flying, I'm traveling overseas or traveling within the country, they don't always allow me to have ice blocks or ice bags or anything like that within the cool bag, because it's water. If that defrosts, they don't allow liquid on the plane. So what I'll do is throw those out if they catch me, and then I'll take out this bag. So now I've got an extra Ziploc bag, and I'll throw some ice in there. Once I've gone through security, I'll go to a McDonald's, I'll go to a coffee shop, ask them to put some ice in there, and then that goes back in and keeps my food fresh. So that's a very simplistic way of doing it. So all you've got to do is think about being prepared in advance, because I guarantee if you try to do any of this in the morning when you wake up, you're going to be in too much of a rush, you're supposed to be going to the gym, you've got to get the kids ready. You're not going to do this, and you'll end up going to the drive-thru again, spending more money and putting food into your body that's not acceptable for muscle building purposes. So I suggest that, like I said, on a Sunday, on a Wednesday, some people do it on a daily basis in the evening. That's absolutely fine. Like I said, I personally prefer to do it twice a week. I have all my food prepared, I have my cool bag prepared, I have my snacks prepared, so I never fail. And if you follow these principles, you won't either.